Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the AEC Minor League for Rainbow Six. We are in day 7 of Season 3. I am BluePanda, joined by Mop from Malta. Mop, how are we doing, man?
Mate, I'm going good. I'm looking forward to this game. Cartel versus Crusaders. And what are the expectations for this game, mate?
Well, I mean, we've seen both these teams play already. Crusaders absolutely dominant in their first performance in the tournament so far. I mean, Dan, Aria, they all went off. They played some spectacular Rainbow Six. Cartel, unfortunately, weren't able to secure themselves even a game in the series. They played against 7th Heaven. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some very, very targeted map bans against Crusaders and some very targeted operator bans as well.
Well, Crusaders did win Coastline and Clubhouse. And first map was Clubhouse, I believe. So,
Yep.
I mean...
First map was Coastline.
Oh, man, I knew it was one of the two. Anyway, Coastline. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Cartel has taken the time to maybe possibly counter-strat any of their strats for Crusaders.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at all. We are heading into the map ban. We are going to see Consulate and Coastline taken off, but it is Crusaders banning out that Coastline. So it'll be interesting to see where we head first. Theme Park is still available, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that one banned out. A lot of teams are choosing to err away from it because they haven't quite figured out the strats and figured out how to play around that. We Clubhouse, the first pick for Cartel going to this, and that's another map that Crusaders performed big on.
And I think if any team is actually prepared for Theme Park, that is just something else, because we have only recently seen other Pro League teams actually go into Theme Park, and even they are still experimenting with their different strats and ideas. So for a team to actually try and tackle on the challenge that is Theme Park is pretty exciting to see. So honestly, as much as I really don't want to cast Theme Park, if we saw Theme Park, that's going to be some hyper gameplay right there.
Well, it shows that teams are investing in the future because, I mean, as soon as you can pick up Theme Park, it allows you to add that extra map to your pool and maps that a lot of teams won't necessarily know how to play around. The second pick is going to be Kafe Dostoyevsky for the Crusaders. So we have our first two maps, Clubhouse for Cartel, a map they got 7-2'd on by 7th Heaven. And heading into Cafe, it's a map we haven't seen Crusaders play yet, but if they carry on in their exact same style, I mean, they've got Rice in the team. The guy is a spectacular entry fragger. You got Snip, probably one of the best support players I've seen so far in terms of the defense role as well. Just the guy sits on cameras, he plays that Maestro incredibly well when given the opportunity, so could make for a very, very hard slog for Cartel if they are looking to find themselves their first win in Group 3. There we go. The the theme park has been banned out by Cartel. As much as it would have been a good watch, I don't think that Cartel have done any real prep going into this for that map anyway.
Can you imagine,
The border has been banned out, so it will be a map 3 Villa. Honestly, the way these teams have played so far, I don't see it going to a map 3. I would like to be pleasantly surprised here by Cartel, who will be starting out on attack in Clubhouse for our first map, but I mean, they got 7-1 and then 7-2 going into that Clubhouse map, so it's not looking overly great for them. I always like it when teams do make me wrong when I make these call-outs, of course. I'd love to see a good map 3. I'd love to see some good Rainbow Six, so I'm hoping that Cartel are going to bring that to the table tonight.
And what's really interesting about these map bans is our first map, Clubhouse, is just such a map in which all these default strategies that has just been going over time and time again is just so instilled in the map that creativity for unique strategies just doesn't really exist. However, contrast to this, Cafe and Villa are just the two biggest brain maps where you can really show off how much your team thinks and their unique different playstyles they can bring to the table. So I'm really looking to see the difference between, say, Clubhouse and our second map, Cafe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's so much versatility on these teams as well. It comes to a high level of OC Rainbow Six. Hopefully, we see some of that deviation because, yeah, it's great not seeing the standard stuff coming Clubhouse, Cafe, and Villa. But it's those teams that, you know, it takes only so much to be a good team. A lot of players can make it to that level of good. It's about those teams that go further, become great, figure out those strategies which no one is going to be expecting, figure out play styles which no one is going to know how to play into. And hopefully we see that at either of these teams, or both of them, if they can bring it tonight. I mean, it looks like, going into the bans, Clubhouse, Kafe Dostoyevsky, and Villa is going to be Cartel starting off on attack every single time. So it looks like Crusaders probably have done their homework, and they have looked really, really solid on defense as well.
I reckon the decision making behind that is why would a team decide to, okay guys, let's pick attack every single time? Is that possibly to get the worst part out of the way? Because we know that Clubhouse and Cafe and Villa are actually the three most defender-sided, and I hate using that word, I hate saying that, I'd be like, oh, these guys are winning because it's defender-sided. But from the statistics we have, Clubhouse, Cafe, and Villa are so heavily defender-sided that it's just so interesting to see Cartel opting for the attack. Now, what do you reckon's going in their heads for that?
I mean, it's there's two different ways to look at it. Obviously, if you're opting to start into attack, you're trying to, probe your opponent's defenses, figure out where they're strongest and which sides they play around the best, and then sort of figure out how to go from there. That, or they feel more confident on attack. Those operators are their strengths, and they're interesting to see how they often. And it's like you said, a lot of people are throwing around, it's defender side or it's attacker side. A lot of it does come down to individual skill as well. Yes, there might be some advantages gained, but if you're playing into a team who has amazing fraggers and will consistently open up the rounds time and time again, yeah, sure, they're going to be winning those rounds. And if they're playing more defense, then obviously that's why it's going to look that way. We are coming into operator bans though. Thatcher, one of the most banned attack operators on almost every map so far. So they are going to have to look to play around that Maverick, trying to get into the side of this Clubhouse as well.
I mean, Thatcher's really no surprise here. So many teams are just getting comfortable with a Thatcher ban. And upcoming here, Maverick.
Oh, this is going to be a hard press for both teams to get into the building right now.
Oh, man. And I'm here talking about defender-sided, and now both Maverick and Thatcher are banned. That is just, wow.
I think this purely comes down to a Crusader read. They've opted into, they've been given the defender role first. They've said, you know what? I think they quite obviously think they can take a decent number of rounds away here, so they just make it as hard as possible for Cartel at this point. And how better to do that than deny their entry into the building? So they're going to have to play around, the vertical play of the Buck and the Zofia to try and destroy those gadgets, which will block them getting in. But I mean, I've seen Crusader play defense, and the mirror ban coming out, it's pretty standard for most teams at the moment. But I mean, the way I've seen Crusaders play, I can guarantee you that this is going to be a rather quick map.
Really? Alright, we heard it here. Well, let's see how we go in with round one, which is going to go to Arsenal Church. Now, I definitely have to say that Arsenal Church is kind of the favorite of the map, really. CCTV recently has become a more prevalent site, but Church Arsenal has always been the site really for innovation. And I was talking a bit about how, there's really not much flexibility, but we've seen in different Pro League situations where you can really just decide, okay, guys, we're going to anchor all 5 on site, which is perfectly fine, or let's put a few roamers there and let's get them to back each other up. Let's have 2 people off site, maybe even 3. And I think that I'm just really excited to see what they're going to do with Church.
Yeah, and it is going to be a pretty standard setup from this Crusaders side. Goonbag picking up Kate Aria. She's very, very good on that Mozzie. Has played it time and time again on defense. Rice opting for that Vigil. The roam play we've seen out of him has been spectacular as well. And it looks like it's going to be that more defensive hold, setting up the reinforcements down here on Church, getting themselves ready, and opening up that main corridor between the two sites. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the likes of Dan and Slip, and potentially Goonbag as well, anchoring on the side. Although Dan does play that somewhat roam position. So we've seen him a couple of times go on some actually quite insane roams up on the top floor and just look to capitalize in on the back of their opponents not being droned out at all. But yeah, the likes of Goonbag, the likes of Snip as well, they both play these anchor positions incredibly well. You've got the Cade. We might even see a run out here from Rice. The man is so aggressive. We are going to get the action phase. It's going to be that construction run out. He's found one. He gets Killer. He gets down to a second one. He gets traded out. Will drop jokes, but Killer is going to be so low. That is the hard breach gone, Mop. This is what we expected out of Crusaders.
No, that is unbelievable. I can't believe that. And he got the kill on the thermite, as you said, which is absolutely huge. And what I was about to say is, have you noticed there is no Callie? Callie is now in play and is an absolutely essential operator in order to get those cage charges off those hatches. How are the defenders, the attackers, gonna open up these key hatches when they have a cage?
Yeah, not only that, but they don't have the IQ either, so they're going to have a hard time finding gadgets as it is. And I mean, considering it is a 4v4, it's only a light 4 for Cartel as it is, because Killer is incredibly low. I mean, after we've already seen what Crusaders looking to bring in, we've seen Rice do that time and time again. Look for those aggressive runouts. I'm scared if I'm Cartel, if I'm being honest.
And also, I'd take that trade. I would trade a Vigil for a Thermite on Clubhouse actually any day. Now, what the attackers could have been thinking is if they were going for, say, a church plant, they can no longer get that wall open. All they have is a Habana whose primary objective is to get those hatches. So we're going to see a lot of adaptation coming from Cartel here to quickly distract back.
While that was all going on, Goonbag actually got the C4 kill onto Skillsy on the Zofia. Unfortunately, he downed himself in the process. So a free kill going into the pocket of Killer Bones there. And we see Dan, he's up on those second floor stairs. We've seen him in this position time and time again. He likes to play that incredibly vertical game, and he's heard the attackers. He knows he's got that vertical advantage. He is going to be looking to come in on the backside. That's where he thrives, playing that big flank position on the Jaeger. So if he can find something, normally it's not just one, it's 2 or 3. If he's given the opportunity. They found the bomb. It will be that drone picked up by the pest there. Line Cordial on the Jackal, sitting in Dirt Tunnel, looking to make something happen. Dan, again, going for that wide roam through Master Bedroom, is looking to come in and absolutely obliterate these attackers from behind. So it's a rough position if Cartel only knew.
I thought he got a flag there. Oh, can you imagine? And it just, from the attacker's positioning, it looks like they're trying to go and get an execute on Arsenal. That is just going to be extremely tough as Snip takes down Expired, Habana with the diffuser. All is left, and Shackle pushes out of Dirt and gets traded off. And, wow, that is just... I think the Thermite Spawn Peak really disabled Crusaders' attack here.
Yeah, yeah, Crusaders find themselves the first round as Dan finally completes that roam from upstairs, comes down, final kill round. We'll be heading to CCTV cash off the back of that. And I mean, we're seeing Goyo come back into it. He has received a bit of love from the nerf hammer from the devs. No, he's going to be switched out. I mean, Goyo, in your mind, Mop, is he still going to be viable having lost 1 Vulcan shield?
It is a huge nerf. I can't tell. Only time will tell for this, but I would say there is still a place for him. 3 Goyo shields was just absurd. Like, that is actually crazy. Like, the potential he had as an operator for 3 shields was just absolutely crazy. Now that it's been reduced to 2, which is only 1 more than, say, a Valkyrie or a Smoke, we're gonna have to see if teams, what they prioritize more. Are they prioritizing the denial, being the destruction of the shield, or the cover it blocks? And really depending on that answer, do I think he's viable? If you're using him for strictly destruction, I just don't think he's going to be as useful as just, say, a typical Smoke or a Valkyrie with a Nitro Cell. But if you're using him for area control, then yeah, I still think that he can definitely be used. And what I just caught just there, Crusaders are double reinforcing off the top of Garage. That disables a rotate, meaning if they do have a Garage player, he is going to be absolutely isolated. And how... I just don't know how they're going to get around that.
I mean, they have got the Mozzie Mute combo as well, so they've got all the tools to deal with that drone potential. As I can see that late Black Eye being thrown out here by Rice. I mean, he's done absolute work with that MP of his, that little SMG, and I mean, they've made a few avenues quite cut down for themselves. It's going to be hard rotating around in all these sites, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some heavy anchor potential out of this team here. It's what they do. They play incredibly well in their given positions, and they look to manipulate, or make the most of the mistakes that defenders make, and attackers, because they are side obviously. But I mean, those early cameras going very, very deep outside, looking for that information. They know one is there. I don't think we're going to see the same level of run out from Rice this round, but I mean, the guy has already asserted his dominance in this game so far.
Absolutely. And we're definitely seeing from the defenders here more of a slight extend into bedroom. And this is really to deny any sort of presence, obviously coming from Jacuzzi way. But what they have done to enable this bedroom roam is they've absolutely left Garage alone. And I think it's going to be up to the attackers to decide how are they going to utilize such free space in order to pressure the defenders. And
we see Dan
working in pool.
Yeah, it's Dan. He's on that heavy roam. That's sort of the position he plays. He's almost an island in and of himself. He just plays on his own in a different from Bart to the map and then looks to capitalize on the heavy commitment of attackers. Was scouted out by the... So they know where he is. Spray's going to be coming out from both teams, as he will meet up with Arya, head back upstairs and play that vertical game that we have seen out of them so far. They have got some solid control. They're playing through construction. The hatches are open as well, so they have a bit of that rotate potential down onto the first floor if they decide to, and that's exactly where Rice is going to be heading. 1 minute left in this round. CCTV is open. They have an attacker in garage as well. It is going to be the exothermic charge coming through. Lime will find the first frag onto Rice. Dan has been taken down a little bit low. Exothermic going out. Lime taking a bit of damage as well. It'll be Dan holding this aggressive angle through to CCTV into garage. Looking for anyone. They are just scanning them out. Skills to take some damage. He will find one though. That is Snip. That is the mute down. Goonbag still alive with those poison grenades. Finds the kill onto Skillsy. The defuser is still going down. Spray going in from Dan. Will find the defuser planter. Takes out Jokes. Will be traded though straight away as Goonbag finds a shotgun kill on the Lime Cordial. Killerbones finds Dan though. 2v2 currently. Killerbones is going to be dropped there from the C4 from Arya. I mean, that's what every girl should have in their handbag, is a C4. She chucks it out, finds that frag. It is all up to expired. The Habana, unfortunately, down on that first floor. 20 seconds left, playing into 2. And it will be an insta-kill on those red stairs as Goonbag with the SMG-11 just cuts off Expired's head.
Absolutely unbelievable round, and that just seemed like the attackers win 9 out of 10 times there. But that Jaeger player absolutely just crossed the breach, in which it was marked, by the way. There was a person on Rappel. The person Rappel whiffs the shots on Jaeger, denies the plan, and wow, it just all went downhill from there. The Nitrocell kill in Lounge, paired with Jaeger's aggression, absolutely saved the round for Crusaders there. And that's just good siege, honestly. That's good siege. We like to see that.
Yeah, that is wholeheartedly understanding your limitations in a team environment. As we are going to be heading up to Gym Bedroom, Arya switching out onto the Wemai. Seen her on the Mozzie so far. Wemai, I mean, he's got to be one of the most oppressive defensive operators with that AUG, with those magnets. Can deny so much entry potential, and they've opted into the Goya as well, potentially here for Snip. The guy's a solid anchor, and I wouldn't be surprised if he commits to that.
And well, my paired with Jaeger is just absolutely deadly, and I believe their ethos for bringing 2 such heavy denial operators is that their little gym hold, they're going to, they do have a castle, they're going to castle off both those doors possibly, and they are just going to litter Gym with so many ADSs and Remais, because as we've seen, Maverick and Thatcher are both banned. So the only way to deny the jacuzzi wall is to go onto the Gym window and shoot it out manually. And that's usually done with a Zofia, an Ash, a Sledge. And if you just have so much denial, you are not going to get through those castle barricades. And I just don't know really how the attackers are going to try and work around this. Because these bans are just so oppressive, aren't they?
Oh, most definitely. They knew exactly what they were doing going into this map, and being gifted defense was just the icing on top of the cake. And there's so much, it's almost what you'd call anti-utility coming out of Crusaders right now. Jaeger and the Wemai, good luck getting any form of destruction into the site if you're the Zofia, or throwing frag grenades as well. So it's going to be a hard press from this Cartel side to see if they can find any avenues into these bomb sites. Already 30 seconds down in this initial attack phase. They're trying to form some form of offense, and it looks like they're left questioning what.
I just think that possibly the Maverick ban, or sorry, which ones did Cartel ban? They banned the Maverick or the Thatcher?
Yeah, and it is going to be just the standard holds from these defenders here, looking to get the best possible find frags. And, I mean, they're looking to get in a position, the ability going in as well.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's just being burned through. They have managed to burn through the initial part of it. They will just throw it in. That gym door is now open. They've blown open the batteries as well. So the batteries are now gone on that jacuzzi wall. They're going to have the exothermic coming out. They do have the reinforcements in bathroom, though, so they will just fall back into a more defensible position. It's still going to be a hard push mob.
That is just unbelievable that they actually managed to get the bandit charges. I went on this whole spiel saying that wall is not going to be opened, but here they are opening it. Possibly the Jaeger was trying to put his utility in Gym, while Wamai was putting it in cash. Do you think that's what they did?
I mean, yeah, it's just they weren't quite reading what was happening at a Cartel, and unfortunately they were able to make the most of it. And it's still just drawing out. They have these aggressive positions. There's only over a minute left in this round. There's still 2 Nitro cells as well. If Dan and Snip are going to be playing from downstairs, that vertical is going to be incredibly scary. Lion Cordial opens things up on the Goonbag. It is the Castle, who is already incredibly low. That is going to be 1 C4 out from Dan. He does not find anything as they have opened up into CCTV as well. The Blur Shield going down in by Jim and Jacuzzi Wall. It has been delayed. Rice being fragged out by Skillsy. That is another one there. The refrag instantly coming out. Will mean that Kilobones is down. Skillsy finds himself a double as he finds Dan. That is the Bandit gone, so it's all up to Snip and Aria. The Wemai and the Goyo, they have come up big in some rounds if given the opportunity. Concussion not quite landing. Over the drop down from Skillsy, looking for the spray. Finds some damage on the Snip. Not quite able to take him out though. 24 seconds left in this round. The spray coming out. Skillsy will find a triple for himself going into round 3 as Limekudu cleans it up and they get themselves their first round. Cartel with the comeback.
There we go. That is a beautiful round, really. And they're just teamwork with Ash paired with Zofia. Ash using her flashbangs to burn the first ADS and Zofia using her concussions to burn the next, allowing them to open up the gym, so the Jacuzzi Wall. I think that was just absolutely fantastic. And when I almost got a bit of PTSD when I saw them in such a winning position, it reminded me a bit of the previous round. I was thinking, is that going to be a Nitro Cell kill? Is that Goyo going to disable their push in? But then thankfully, the Zofia Squiz absolutely just dropped on pool and got that kill, and that was essential for their win. So that was just great.
Skillsy with the big read allows them to take out their first round. We are going to be heading back downstairs, Mop. Back down to Church Arsenal, and I mean, after that first run out, Rice might be playing a little bit safe this time. I wouldn't be surprised if he does something just as equally aggressive, but I mean, it's Dan, the man we have to worry about. He goes on those big roams up to the second floor, and if he can come in behind the attackers, that is going to be a scary time for this Cartel side.
I definitely hope that we can see Cartel's full execute here, because realistically, losing Thermite on that first round can just absolutely cripple whatever initial idea you had going into that round. So what I'm really hoping to see here is Cartel having a bit more of a fluid attack in which they actually understand where they're going to end up. And I think we're going to see that through their Thermite, hopefully. And I'm praying here. I'm praying Rice does not just do him dirty and get the opening pick on Thermite, because that would be huge. But let's just pray that Killer Bones stays safe and that we can watch Cartel just pull out their execute.
Yeah, it will be Rice heading upstairs with that Vigil, maybe looking for some shenanigans on the second floor. A little bit more defensive out of Cartel at the start of this round, trying to slow things down. Rice and Strip Club there, looking for that long rotate potential of the Vigil. Maybe looking to pick up some early frags onto this defense, the attacking side. I mean, 2-1 is a better situation than I potentially thought Cartel were going to find themselves in. That last round was rather clean. They were able to execute quite well. That gym bomb site in bedroom. But they found the bomb, and it has, again, it's that slow play style. Gather the information, then look for the push in aggressively, and it seems to be paying off a little bit more for Cartel.
I mean, honestly, if Cartel can squeeze this to a 3-3, that's pretty good. Like, that's pretty good, man. Like, these bans are just so favored for the defenders that, like, I just think Cartel are going to have to fight for every single round throughout this game. And fight indeed they are. But what's going to catch them up is Rice just lurking from Strip. And I think he's looking to try and get some damage on possibly that kitchen hallway from toilets. And he is getting supported from Dan on main stairs. And both of these players have not been cleared out. And they are still in such critical areas.
Yeah, C4 from below, not going to kind of translate there. Goonbag will be fragged out by Killerbones. So that is the K down. That big DMR now going to be off the board for the defense side. 4-1-3 was Goonbag before he did go down. So he was having a good time in terms of frags. They are pushing down into basement. It's expired. The Ash in this aggressive position, looking straight down to Moto, looking for something if possible. I mean, he's going to struggle. He is very, very isolated, so it won't take much for him to be fragged out here. Really just a quick headshot from any of the defenders. But the defenders, they're playing passively. They're sitting on these sites, not looking to give up an inch if possible. So it is coming into that final minute. Utility being dumped down into this basement, trying to get themselves a position. It's going to be Rice on their own. Finds the head of Skillsy in kitchen. So that is the Zofia down, holding back on the main stairs. They will be looking for that frag onto the Ash as well. Expired. trying to frag him out. Will be rotated in from behind. Dan picks that one up, takes it into a 4v3 in favor of the defense. Diffuser was started up there, but it will be stopped. The spray going out will find him, so that is the diffuser down. Lime Cordial refrags onto Aria. Unfortunately, that is going to be her drop. Jokes finds Dan, so a 2v2 currently. Rice a little bit unhealthy in terms of HP. Looking for that quick lean out, using that gadget of his, trying to deny Division their final 20 seconds of this round. They have delayed so incredibly well. The Diffuser is in such an ungainly position. The prone Rice looking for something here. They have to force something. 10 seconds left. Spray going out. They will get the down onto Rice. They're looking for something. Jokes will finish off that kill. Snip comes in. Isn't able to get anything other than the down onto Jokes. And Snip with a clutch 2 kill onto Lime Cordial, and Jokes will clutch out that round 3-1 in favor of Crusaders.
Let's go. What an intense round. That just flipped in which favor it was for each side just so quickly. First it was attackers, then it was finally the defender round, and that is a hard-earned round. And I think we need to give some major praise to Rice and Dan's teamwork. Like, that's freaking unbelievable. Ash was getting debated the hell out of bottom main stairs, and Dan, seeing his teammates probably about to die, just swings on the Ash, and oh my god, that is beautiful. That is so handsome. That is the gameplay we want to see right here, and that was the defender's round. From those key decisive trades and those plays and those holds and that passiveness you were talking about absolutely just gave them the edge for when the attackers had to make a rush decision and they just got absolutely fried on those entries. And that was just, wow.
I mean, not only that, but you saw Snip pick up that final frag with literally about 3 HP. Oh. The guy's got some big gun control considering how small the firearm that he was using. He will be heading back up to CCTV cache. It's a bomb site that worked reasonably well for him. It was one of the originals. Actually, we've seen history repeating itself. They picked up the win onto basement. They now pick up the win. Potentially could pick up another win onto CCTV. And their defense, it's going to be the exact same again, denying that rotate potential. And their aggressive holds in this bomb site were working pretty well.
And honestly, the track record we're looking at is that every single defender side, except for Jim, has been a win so far. So if this track continues, we're probably going to be seeing maybe a 4-2. And what do you think a 4-2 looks like? Is that something to be happy about, or is that a bit of a disappointment?
Well, I mean, I've seen the attack play out of Crusaders, and I mean, I think they'd be incredibly happy with a 4-2 first half. Going into attacking, they get some great frags. Rice is a monster in that entry position. And, Dan just getting those cameras out, giving themselves as much information. They play really, really consistently. They communicate incredibly well. And I wouldn't be surprised if their attack is just as clean as their defense.
Look how timid the attackers are when you have Dan and Rice just aggressing absolutely everything. Like, this is psychological. They have just absolutely aggressed so much for the past 5 rounds that it took 3 of them to hold a Kennel's run out. And that is just... Man, they are feeling the heat of Dan and Rice's absolute aggression. And we're going to have to hope that the attackers don't be so timid in which they don't get their attack done fast enough. We are seeing Ash and a partner crouch walking into stock, and this is actually quite a lot of ground taken so early. It's 2 minutes down, and they could be getting bridged quite soon.
Yeah, I mean, they've figured out where these batteries are, trying to set up around to take them down. Sorry, not the batteries, it's the mute jammers. And they are looking to try and deny those as Expired takes a bit of damage there on the backside of it. They have taken out the mute jammers, so it will be that extra thermite going onto main wall and CCTV. First frag comes out, Rice taking down Jokes, as he drops down into oil pit, rotate down through blue into armory, so he's got away pretty cleanly. It looks like they're looking for him, hunting for him desperately. They're looking potentially for that rotate. I'm Cordy in position to try to capitalize on it. Aria holding those main stairs again with Dan. That vertical play is Rice. He just heads straight there. They're all upstairs looking to capitalize on that initial attack. Play from that north to south play style and clean up these attackers. They're playing in such a class.
Wow, and just what we can command just so much from the defenders here is how they're working together. I just think it's so awesome that somebody's sitting main stairs for Rice's rotate. Oh, but we do have a plan going down from Thermite behind CCTV, and... Oh my god, he got the plant down. That is actually unbelievable. With garage control, breach control, and... Wow, Goonbag gets a kill on Expired, Dan gets a kill on Squeaks, and and Goodbye gets a TK. Oh my god.
He is fragged out by Killer Bones. It is currently a 3v2. They have the defuser down. There's a lot more health on the defending side as they will find that frag, taking it into a 3v1. Lime Cordial finds 2 though. Dan and Ari are now gone. Snip is going for the defuse. The IQ is there. He has to pull off it. Lime Cordial just backing off a touch as it will be another attempt at the defuse. Snip taking a bit of damage. He's clutching it. He's holding it. He's taking it. 3-on-5 goes to Crusaders.
No, you can't shoot at the device. No, that is actually unbelievable. That is crazy. I just can't believe it. I just cannot believe that. That is so unlucky for the attackers there, for that IQ. If you're just aiming a bit, and I do see somebody talking about hitboxes in the chat, and no, you just can't shoot at the device. You have to shoot at the person. So that's slightly left or right. And yes, there is a bit of, trial and error. Oh, am I hitting him there? But you can't just shoot directly at it. And wow, why are all of these rounds just such roller coasters of who is going to take it out?
I mean, the amount of dedication and determination on Snip there. He went for the initial defuse, got pulled off it because there was an IQ below him, and then he just sticks it. Regardless of what's going on around him, he takes out that win. We will be actually heading up to Gym and Bedroom again. And I mean, considering how the rounds have been going for Crusaders so far, their last Gym hold was, I mean, the only way to describe it was almost disastrous.
Yeah, oh, definitely. What I think, though, is that if they just use the utility they have on board, please use those Lamais and those Jaegers, and damn, they are not going to get that Jacuzzi wall, which is just absolutely essential from the Cartel's attack. See, now what you can do here, Crusaders, is I hope that's going through their mind, is like, okay, let's look at the attack they did last round, and let's just absolutely counter it. First, there's going to be an Ashe and a Zofia on the Gym window, so how are we going to deny that? What type of utility are we going to dedicate to that area in order for them to not get the Gym wall? And if we see something like that, I think this is a 5-1, no worries.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the IQ again, so they're going to be figuring out where these gadgets are going to be positioned. So they have potential to go for the exact same play that they did. They got them the last round on this attack side for Cartel, but it's Dan again, the man to watch. He's going on these wide roams. He's heading potentially into stuff. He's found one drone, though, so we'll just rotate back into Bar, and he hears the window being opened up. Could look for a frag if possible. Again, there's so many off-site positions being held here by Crusaders.
And despite the scoreboard being 1-4, I think we can both agree that does not reflect how close these rounds in this game has been, right? Like, this has just been absolute neck to neck every single round.
Yeah, I mean, it's again that aggressive play style in onto Gym that we've seen out of Cartel, which did work quite well for them. That Sledge will be fragged out by Goonbag, the UMP 45. Aggressive push into the bedroom window. So will be just the utility drain now coming out for Cartel. They're looking to try and open up that Gym door, and they miss out on that opportunity. There's the Magnet and the ADS are going to deny that completely, so they have no way of opening up Gym. All that is left is going to be the concussion. It's going to go through. Going to be trying to get in an aggressive position, and we'll find that frag on the Goonbag, who was sitting aggressively just inside that bedroom window. So Skillsy is going to be evening things up. He has taken a bit of damage, looking in onto Bathroom, and as you can see, that defender with the wide rotate on the other side of the second floor, looking for something to happen. Claymore potentially going down. They're looking into CCTV as well, just trying to figure out where these other defenders are because they are so spread out. I mean, we saw that. It was almost perfect for Cartel, and then just the utility drain.
No, that he would have been in the heat of the moment. His mind would have been racing 1,000 miles an hour. He didn't think about it. If he baits it out with the concussions, then you've got the wall. And that is just going to halt out the entire attack. Where are they going to go now? They have no option but to take bad gunfights through doors and windows. And that's just not what you want to be. This is not the position you want to be at all.
Yeah, I mean,
here that CCTV wall.
There will be Aria finding a flag on a joke. Skillsy trades out onto her, though. Ashley will be dropped 3 versus 3. Currently 42 seconds left in the round. They have the Goyo, they have the Jaeger, and the Bandit still alive. Snip with the hold from below. Dan with the hold from over by Office on the other side. So they are going to get droned out. It will be Rice being seen there. Sprays coming through construction, looking for any sort of road back into this round. 23 seconds. They are taking their time for sure. Will be the breach charge going in. Actually, no, that's the exothermic. Will be dropped onto a soft wall. Hey, that's got to be heart-wrenching. A step will find one of the skills there. That's Sophia down. Spray coming in from behind. He will take Killerbones incredibly low. It's that hold from office. Lime Claudio finds Dan. Rice will trade him out immediately. Snap and Rice versus Killerbones. He's very low. And the C4 will take out round 6. And what a round. 5-1. It's exactly like you called it, Mop.
Yeah, exactly. That is just absolutely unbelievable there. And we can definitely see the attacker's glaring mistakes. First, that Zofia. My heart bleeds for that Zofia. I'm a bit of a Zofia main myself, and I could not tell you the amount of times I have screwed over my teammates by just absolutely getting that order wrong. And oh man, that is a special kind of pain. And that just enables, and like I said, they have to take bad gunfights just through slim doorways in which the defenders can pre-fire the hell out of you. And what also it enables is that only two of those defenders had to stay on site because those gunfights are just so easy for them to take, allowing their third member, the Goyo, to play Nitrocell down below. So even if those two people on site just got outskilled and outfragged and the plant was going down, the defenders still would have won that round. And that is just such a convincing win. And Cartel are definitely looking bit on the ropes here, bit on the ropes.
Well, I mean, we're looking at it 5-1, Mop. We're potentially looking at the penultimate round of this first map of the series. It will be a CCTV cash hold to start things off. Aria is back on the IQ. We've seen her pull out some spectacular frags in that operator. Goonbag on the Hibana and Snip on the Thermite. That is their hard breach. They set up around that incredibly well. Rice on the Zofia. The frag machine, if given the opportunity. And I mean, Skillsy played it well. Rice has been playing spectacularly so far. Yeah, he's only 5-1-5, but that initial run out and some of the frags he has picked up, this is going to be a great round.
You know what? I'm a Rice fan now. You've convinced me. You've fanboyed over Rice, and I understand why. Rice, I love you. Keep fragging up, brother. He's doing God's work, truly.
I mean, you call it fanboying. When you see someone consistently put up numbers the way he has, it's not hard to get on the hype train. And it will be the final round of this prep phase. They're looking to get things started. It's Crusaders looking for their 6th round in this first map. Cartel looking for their 2nd. And it's a far more vanilla hold out of this Cartel side.
What I'm really hoping for Cartel is that despite, I think we can definitely agree that the Maverick and Thatcher ban really shook them. And now I'm really hoping that for the same reasons they lost their so many of their attacking rounds, they're going to turn around and be like, okay guys, this is how they denied our pushes so well because these two operators are banned. If they just play their default strat, I think they're going to get absolutely fried. They need to adapt to these bans. And let's really hope we see some of these. Is this just an early rush, or is this for Zofia to stun the bandit?
I mean, they're looking in position to open up that CCTV wall, and that's exactly what's going to be happening. It is that aggressive push in by Rice early. They're just dumping all that utility onto CCTV wall. He's now going to hold a tight angle, look for something here, as it will be the defenders potentially looking to rotate offside. And this is such an accelerated press in onto CCTV. They've already got out of control of it, and there's 2 minutes still left in the round, so they've got so much room to work with. And those drones are going to be going in aggressively, looking for that vision. Frag being held here. It might be enough from below. Not quite going to translate into anything as Jokes is dropped a little bit lower, but nothing gained as of yet.
I definitely agree with you with that, just how different these attacks have been. It's 1:30, and look at this control the attackers have. They have got construction, they've got suicide lockdown, and now they're ready to go for their execute. And they do have suicide breach, and a fantastic kill from Valkyrie onto Snip, which gets instantly traded out. Oh, it's a trade! Oh.
No, they find the Hibana, and it is going to be Killerbones traded out straight away. Snip is still alive, luckily. But it is the Hibana down. Thermite still available. They're looking to aggressively push onto this construction wall. It will be the exothermic charge going down. Little does Jokes know on the other side. It's going to essentially be doomed. And they have opened up the CCTV site completely, as well as cash. So they have so many aggressive angles to sit here and hold on the attacker side with 48 seconds still left in the round. It will be that wide swing onto that door into Cash. Dan taking a bit of damage. Utility being dumped in on there. Skills, he finds a kill onto Aria, taking it to a 4v3. Snip is going to be dumping Williams, but he sees the head. Oh my lord. He sprays in, will find that kill so close as he is going to get himself a double. Looking into aggressively spray into CCTV. Playing a slow diffuser going down in Cash. Pulls off it, waiting for that rotate in from the Jaeger. Lime Cordial is on red stairs but doesn't push in. And it might be that soft wall hold with the diffuser here. Snip is sticking it. I don't think he quite realizes that the Jaeger is there. We'll spray him through the wall as Dan finds Lime Cordial, finds a second on to expire. 2v1, 8 seconds left in the round. He's looking for it. They don't know that he's there. 4 seconds left. They're sticking in onto the diffuser. If Skillsy can find something, as he does, he finds Dan and gets him to the second round. No! Out enough, and it will be Cartel taking round 7.
Oh, this game's a roller coaster, man. That is actually unbelievable. And I was about to go on a full rant and that, okay, his main wall, the main CC wall, was destroyed. Okay, your next biggest priority as a bandit is to go over to the construction wall. And although that the attackers had that much amount of control, just the raw fragging ability of these defenders just absolutely popped off. And you know what? Good on you, Cartel. That was a fun round to watch. And honestly, this has been a pretty good game so far. But is Cartel going to be able to bring this back? Because if you think about it, the track record, even if they're going to win this next church and they win the next CC, they still have to worry about Jim. And if Crusaders consistently, almost consistently, apart from the last one, lost Jim, they can't afford to lose Jim. They just have to win straight rounds. And can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this position for Cartel before. They've taken it to a second round and then been shut out completely, going 7-2, 7-1, even on Clubhouse, if I remember correctly, the last time they played. Going into round 8, though, they do look for the Jackal for Dan here, looking for that roam denial, as we are going to be heading straight to Jim Bedroom. Wow. Aside which, it worked reasonably well for them in that first round. They attacked into it for Cartel here, but we'll see what Crusaders can bring. And it's going to be the Vigil coming up for Lime Cordial, 9-1-5, so he's putting in a big effort for his team so far.
Balls of steel. Balls of absolute steel. I cannot believe they would go Jim first. I don't know if this is because they believe their gym setup is stronger than their arsenal, which of course would make sense, or if they're just trying to throw off the attackers. Because like you would imagine they would go basement, right? And if the attackers are following that train of thought, they could have just absolutely baited the hell out of them.
Yeah, and we are getting into the action phase. The main part of this round has started up. Dead looking to run in aggressively. Finds the spray onto Lime, who is looking for that bullet hole peek out of the doorway. So, again, it's Crusaders opening up the fragging for round 8. They find themselves in a man advantage, and the aggressive play out of Lime Cordial gets completely nullified there.
Yeah, and that's just a sigh of relief that their top fragger is opening picks. Although Vigil has no utility, he's always a threat. Oh, it looks like the attackers here are just going to go for the good old Zofia trick, but you do have to initially remove it. Looks like he's going to use the impact, which didn't get anything, actually. Looks like he might be opting out to Jim window.
Yeah, it's that delayed play. There will be that bandit trick just slowing things down for this attacking side of Crusaders. They might opt for that Jim push instead, but there's a lot of utility denial here. The only difference is there's no where am I the run from the defenders. Almost takes out Rice. It's going to be Jokes looking for something there with that UMP-45. Luckily, though, it doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage, as that ADS will take out the final impact spray coming through on the bedroom. Rice almost copped one in the back of the head there from Jokes.
Honestly, I thought he was about to get caught out. But despite that, they're not going to be able to get that jacuzzi wall. And they are facing the exact same problem that Crusaders felt in the first round. Or that they faced in the second gym round. And I don't know what their solution's going to be. They're going to have to pressure CCTV. And like I keep saying, they're going to have to take these really bad gunfights. So we're going to have to see some mad adaptation and just some crazy gun skill in here just to push their way through CCTV and then construction.
Yeah, and they are going to be looking to set up the drone coming out from Slip. He's the committed cameraman of skills. He finds one under goon bags. The return spray coming through that soft wall, not going to be able to find anything. and they're almost at a loss for what to do here. The Hibana is gone. Snip is still there. Killerbones finds another onto Dan. So three attackers left to the 4 defenders. It will be Killerbones on the bandit looking to back up his teammates in bedroom, just holding by main stairs. And it has been a rather slow round out of Crusaders. Drones still coming through. 30 seconds left, and there's so much work to be able to get into the site. And it's just going to be Rice running in aggressively. Finds a kill on a Skillsy. Looking to gain control over by main stairs as well. Spray going out. He realizes that it's in by that jacuzzi wall corridor. I mean, they're getting the diffuser down, Mop. They've got it. They've committed. They've got it. Wow. Rice rounds will be dropped here. Killerbone's finding a double for himself in this round. 3 defenders still to burn through. Commit this round and pick it up, but they've got to find these attackers. They know where the diffuser is. It's on the bed. They're just holding this angle defensively, trying to find something. C4 will throw it into construction. Nothing again there off the back of that snip and Aria. Just holding these great positions, looking for something. Expired is going to be pushing it onto the bed, looking for something. Flashbang going deep. They might be able to mop this up. Expired does pull off the diffuser there, having to just wait it out. Snip holding in construction, looking for the spray. Jox will find Aria. They get the spray down to Killerbones. Runs in, finds... No, he's not able to. He gets dropped. And Cartel find themselves a 3rd round.
Is that enough?
It's having you back in.
Oh, you hate to see it. I thought the defenders had that.
It was close. It was close for sure, and it almost came out. Snip's almost able to find that. Unfortunately, he runs out of ammo and is down there. It will be a 3rd round in the pocket of Cartel. So it is still... Sorry, no. Yeah, no, sorry. Is it 2nd round? Yeah, 2nd round. So yeah, it's they're making their way back into it. We still are on match point. Sorry, I looked at the 2 and got confused all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, it's 6-2. It's still match point in favor of Crusaders. There's no need for them to, make the same mistakes they made. We're going to be heading back down to basement now. And I mean, we've seen how they play around it defensively. Crusaders must have some idea of what's going on the offensive side.
And I think I really think here that Cartel's gamble just did not pay off. It was so close to working, and now they're just going to have to deal with back down Church Arsenal, which I'm really hoping they're picking not because, we lost Gym, which was our better site than Arsenal. Let's try something new. I'm really hoping that Arsenal they're actually stronger with, but yeah, like I said, they were taking a bit of a punt. But regardless, the lineup they have really screams of possibly a default setup, a bit of a anchor. However, Jokes, the Doc player, now Doc on Clubhouse, can probably sometimes mean spawn picking. So is he looking to try and get some revenge on the opening pick that Crusaders got on their team the 1st round? I'll have to wait and see, because honestly, I think an opening pick here would be incredibly beneficial for them. And let's see if he can pull it off.
Hold up. 5 seconds to go. I may have got myself confused there, because I'm pretty sure it should be a 5-3 scoreline if Cartel won that. Was it the Mozzie who pulled off at the last second and cost them the round? Because we're now 6-2. I mean, maybe it was just so unbelievable. They did lose. Yeah, so I'm still trying to process what I just saw there.
It was also that close.
It was a bit nuts, and it did confuse my brain just a wee bit. We are heading back down into the basement, and it will be Crusaders on attack in the final round, potentially, of this game. Match point for sure, 6-2. Cartel have done a decent job. They've brought it back to 2, because at one point it looked like they weren't even going to find the 2nd round for themselves, but they've done that. And down in the basement, it's one of those sites which can be make or break if they are able to capitalize on some of these tight angles and tight holds. And its dirt tunnel has been, it's been electrified.
This is beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted to see. This is how you counter a Maverick and Thatcher ban. You just caved the hell out of dirt, and now what are they going to do? They could frag grenade it, but it has to be a very solid grenade. And if they actually place a deployable shield on that drone hole, it's actually invulnerable. So now they can't get dirt, which could be something huge of their execute. And we'll have to see how they try and counter this.
Yeah, and it is going to be a lot of defender bodies down in this basement, holding it around the site. It's probably one of the most defensive holes we've seen in this basement in a good long while. That kitchen hatch is open, though, over Armory, so they have a Black Eye in position to see what's going on with the attackers. We could see a Nitro Cell coming out, jumping up onto the counter. It is going to be the lifelines being committed here. The run from Skillsy, looking for something as that floor has been opened up. Spray going out. It is going to find Rice. So that is the Zofia now gone for this Crusaders side. And they're looking a little bit scareder on this attacking side as Goonbag will even things up. Killerbone's going down there. So that is the Cade now gone for this defending side. And it's not quite as clean as we've seen Crusaders play going into the second half, Mops.
And now it looks like the attackers, they're just going to adapt for bottom main stairs, possibly foreshadowing a church rush and just absolutely bumming it out. And I think Dirt being denied just put a huge mark on their original strategy. And Doc, an amazing peek onto main stairs, killing out the IQ. And now
Goonbag gets the TK. Snip finds one to expire. So a 2v2 currently. That is the Doc gone. Now Goonbag finds himself another. His Jokes is gone. It's all up to Skillsy to bring this back to a 6-3 in the second half. He's got a lot of work to do. It is the Valkyrie spray going up. But Crusaders will close out the map 7-2 on the Clubhouse. We will be heading to it's Kafe Dostoyevsky next. That map it can be so make or break in some of those initial rounds, especially given that it is going to be Crusaders on defense. We've seen Rice go for the run out. If he can pull the same shenanigans off on Kafe, it's going to be a rough one for sure for Cartel to take it to a map 3.
Wow, 7-2 definitely looks convincing. But that was definitely a close game. On so many of those rounds, it could have gone either way. And even on that defuse, I think that is just unbelievably unlucky. If Jokes rotated a lot faster and more decisively, he would have absolutely got in time for that defuse. And that is just, man, that is really unfortunate. But I wouldn't be disheartened by that scoreline and be like, okay, this next game's going to be a stomp. I think that was actually a really close game, although the score does not reveal that.
I mean, yeah, the round potential was definitely there for Cartel. They proved time and time again that they could actually contest this Crusader side. So I definitely agree that maybe the scoreline doesn't necessarily represent what we could be seeing going into map 2. But in saying that, we do have to take a quick break, get things sorted going into map 2. So don't go anywhere, guys. Hang around, get yourselves a snack and a drink quickly, and we'll be back for all the action on Kafe.
I cannot say goodbye to you. I don't wanna say I lost the cure. She's so dark, cocaine is pure. My brain is down and got the cure. Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Rebirth's a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry.
Those rounds were so damn close that it's actually it's anyone's game. So I dead set think that if Cartel just build a little bit of momentum, just round by round, and just be a bit more patient and stop diving in and playing so aggressive constantly, I think they could definitely take it out, and I think we can see a different Cartel this map.
I mean, most definitely. Considering that it is Cartel playing attack on every single map tonight, you'd hope they have some sort of strategy going with this, but in saying that, Crusaders have a pretty clean defense. The real question, though, is what is going to be banned in terms of operators coming into this map. We still see a lot of priority around that Thatcher. I mean, it hasn't maybe quite as heavily prioritized by every single team going into this map. We see a lot of Mirror in terms of their defense. Echo, a pretty much standard defense ban as well. We also see from time to time a bit of Blackbeard banning coming up because of that window play. So it'll be interesting to see what both these teams opt into.
Well, typically on this map, you always ban a wall denial. So be that your Thatcher, your Maverick, sometimes even a Thermite, and if you're risky, Habana. And there's the Thatcher ban. All right, that's Crusaders ban on Thatcher. Obviously, I think Crusaders are incredibly comfortable with just banning Thatcher. That could actually be their most default ban that they always do. It's just always Thatcher. And now I'm really hoping Cartel, in response, does not ban Maverick. Just relax. Just Buck. Buck is incredibly huge. Despite of the recent nerfs, Buck is still an incredibly powerful operator on Kafe, especially. Buck is just so versatile in his map for clearing so many, even in cases roamers, and in many cases for different sites like Kitchen, he's impeccable. And for Cocktail, he's better than Sledge, obviously. So we're gonna have to see some possible adaptation if Crusaders use any Buck in their strategy.
Yeah, I mean, that vertical floor potential coming up for both teams, but Buck is just going to make it a little bit harder. He's obviously the ranged Sledge, which is what people do equate him to. But obviously, with the nerf that he did receive, it's going to be a little bit scary, well, a little bit less scary, I suppose, playing
Well, do you know what's going to happen? Mate, I'm going to tell you right now, Blue, what's going to happen. Sledge Shotgun, just calling it. Sledge Shotgun's the best. Sledge Shotgun is new Buck. Come on, boys. Like, let's start making this a thing. Anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, we're heading into the first round. It will be that third floor bar and cocktail hold. This is the operator that we've seen picked up here by Killerbones, the Jackal. That was the one that I was surprised we didn't see banned out. Because of a map like Cafe, there's so much roam potential for the defensive side. You want to pick up, you don't deny some of that roam denial as it is, but it is going to be left available. And Cali, this is the operator you were talking about, is going to be picked up here.
Go! Yes, we got a Cali. Oh, we got our Cali, baby. That is so strong, and I honestly recommend, like I'm telling you right now, they bring in a Cali for attack on a Clubhouse, and they're just gonna be the best team ever. I am so excited to see this goddamn Cali players, and just the absolute repels and dirty angles we can possibly see. And I think the pick of Cali really suggests that the attacking team are going to try and take out the piano side first, sweeping from Cigar. So once you get piano control, use those Calis on that freezer wall to possibly go for a default plant on the edge of the bar. And I mean, that's just a nice little plan, and I'm really looking forward to see how the attack is executed.
Yeah, I mean, Cali is one of those operators that obviously rose to popularity off the traditional Thatcher ban, and obviously the Maverick as well being prioritized as well. So if you're going to be a destroy Sledge, I mean, it's also a pretty hefty gun. If you can land the shot onto anyone, it does chunk them out pretty hard, if not outright killing them. So it'll be interesting to see how they opt to play around this. But getting into the thick of things, into that action phase as well. We also see Dan playing the Doc. So potentially looking for some shenanigans with that ACOG on the MP5 as well. Goonbag playing the castle.
That's
Aria on
interesting.
the Valkyrie and Snip on the Wemai. That utility denial coming in big once again for Crusaders.
I wonder where these castles are, because castle is actually a really uncommon pick for up here. Possibly denying out maybe Cigar Lounge, but that is just... I'm really excited to explore some of these castles later on, because that freaks me out. I just can't believe that. I just wonder what they're trying to deny and what they're trying to zone out with castle. And obviously we see this Valkyrie playing in Train Museum, obviously trying to look for a Valkyrie throw onto anybody entering from red stairs. And yeah, just as I thought, that castle is to zone out the cigar shop. And Valkyrie can deal so much damage with her Nitro Cell that it's actually going to be a surprise if she doesn't get cleared out first. Oh, no, that's not going to happen, right?
They're looking for something. They want to make it happen.
No, don't. If this is a hot breach, man, I don't know what I'll do, man, but I'll be...
I mean, look, let's be honest.
Hot breach with Callie? Come on!
Let's be honest, a sniper rifle is nothing if not a long-distance shotgun. As it will be that Nitro Cell coming out early from Aria, taking out the zone. We'll see the hot breach coming in. Straight in onto the balcony. We'll find one. That's Dan. He will use the stem, but it's not going to be up. The hot breach play coming out of Jokes. And he finds another with the CZ. Double kills the Jocks. And he almost finds another. He will be dropped, though. Instantly refragged out as Expired finds Rice. And Snip finds Jokes. Is going to be able to find something there, but I mean, if that does not make a highlight reel somewhere, I would be incredibly surprised. It is the attackers establishing control in onto red stairs. They are reasonably low. Expired and Lime Cordy are both taking a lot of damage. They have to contest with these castle walls and those soft walls in onto Cocktail as well. And I mean, there's a lot of potential here for these hard angles to be held by the defense side. It is going to be a defender sitting on the stairs. It's going to be Aria with the Valk. He's running out. Might have been seen there. Does just sneak through. That drone will be denied by Aria again. The charge going out onto the wall. Aria finds Lime Cordial. It is all down to Expired. They are looking for it. Aria gets dropped. That's Expired finding him. So double kill there. It's all up with that AUG, I would imagine, in his hands. I didn't quite see it. It was a bit of a lag. And he's looking for the angle. Yeah, he's got the AUG. He's got the spray. Expired taking a bit of damage. We'll find it. And Crusaders secure themselves the first round. In saying that, Jokes, what was that play?
I am so happy. Blue, I am so happy right now. What a game this is going to be. The hot breach from Callie, and it almost works?
Oh no, it did work. He got in, he got 2 frags, and unfortunately was traded out. But you've got to say, like, exactly what he was trying to do, it worked.
Yeah. Callie 2 frags, though, like, the core reason for picking Callie is to get that wall. Although that was just absolutely, that was kind of wasted. Getting 2 frags with Callie is kind of crazy, especially on an entry. So I'm just going to be so interested to see if Jokes is going to use Callie as an entry fragger, not a utility denial. And, I'm pretty keen for that.
Yeah, I mean, if it works the same way it did last time, I would be very keen to see it. We are going to be heading down to the double kitchen site. Be interesting to see how it eventuates with the Carly there. She's got so much more room to work around, but we see the Wemai now in the hands of Aria. Goonbag picking up the smoke and Snip back onto the castle. I mean, they're going for an extended side hold from the looks of it.
Definitely going to zone out with Castle, and they're going to try and give their players on Kitchen as much time to breathe. Sorry. And I really think, this castle's going upstairs. I wonder if he's going to castle up above, and they're going to have an advanced roam strat in which they place 2 defenders upstairs with castle support, with utility, and once they get pressured, they just run out, and they've just wasted so much time. And that'd be pretty exciting to see. So I'm ready to see these castles, honestly.
And we are going to be hitting the action phase. Jokes with that Carly with the big bad sniper rifle is going to be looking to make plays again.
I mean, would you be mad if the Observer just stuck with him the whole round? Like, would you? I wouldn't.
I mean, they're going for this aggressive play, pushing straight into Bakery there and looking for something. They've got the eyes in on that soft wall, looking for some sort of angle to make something happen here. And little do they know there is actually a defender behind that wall, so nothing found as of yet. They're droning out. Jokes just holding that angle. Sorry, it's not Bakery. I'm wrong. I got my eyes confused. It is a bit late here in New Zealand, so the timing is a bit
New
off.
Zealand. Oh no, yeah, very late. Oh my lord, you're doing it. You're an absolute trooper for staying so energetic so late in the night.
But it is Carly into this bottom floor aggressively again. The 12's time zoom coming out there. He's looking for something. He wants to find it. They are just getting breaches in and around this bottom floor, looking for some entryway in onto this bottom floor bomb site. Dan will open things up, taking out Killerbones. That is the Ash gone. So those Ash charges are now completely unusable, considering it's now stuck on the floor. Snip taking a bit of damage on the backside. Rice coming in from above on those white stairs, looking for something, looking to make something happen. Is going to swing wide, sees the elbow, is going to find the spray. That is the IQ down. They're going to have a much harder time finding gadgets. Again, looking for that extended angle. Dan finds himself a double kill into this round. 2 attackers left alive. One of them is that Carly. They've also got Skillsy, who came up big on the Zofia in the clubhouse.
Callie wins, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Callie's about to actually pull up, and this is going to his frag Taj 100%. I am looking forward to seeing this Callie try and pull something out, despite Rice holding...
Oh, he almost found the head. He gets another shot out. Dan will be killed there by Skillsy. So 4v2 currently. CZ coming out. The CZ75 auto in the hands of Carly is a pretty good secondary weapon. I mean, there's just the fire rate is abs, and it looks like we might see them heading just up to that first floor, looking for that vertical play, rotating in and around, going the long way. Might be looking for something here through mining. And it will be onto Red Scare's Skillsy as they're backing him up, and they know exactly where they are. The poison grenade's coming out. Looking to deny their push into the site. 30 seconds left in the round. Carly looking to use that big bad sniper rifle to push through Skillsy. Does find Rice, so dropping to a 3v2 as he finds himself a double in round 2. 20 seconds left. They're spraying desperately, trying to find anyone, trying to gain some sort of advantage as we come down to the dying moments of this round. They have to force something. On the side of that hard wall is going to be a defender there with a big bad shotgun. Goon. It is not him actually picking it up. It's the Where Am I? So Aria finds that one. He finds himself a double as he is fragged out in the end. But, I mean, a clean double here for Aria of Crusaders Esports to finish out the second round.
And it's just absolutely commemorable that Crusaders, did you see how well they collapsed on that Callie? They had, everybody was just watching each other. And if that Callie got a single frag, somehow everybody would have just instantly collapsed and just got that trade for free. I mean, and that is just such good teamwork from Crusaders. And we saw that on the clubhouse with the rotates, with the roams. And Crusaders' teamwork is just nothing short of impeccable. It's just so great to see a team just working together so well. It's really fun to watch, isn't it?
I mean, seeing this level of cohesion in an amateur team is always good to see. It shows a lot of potential, especially if they want to push things to the higher echelons of esports. We are going to be heading to Reading Room Fireplace, the Mute Mozzie combo coming out. Aria playing that Mozzie to perfection in the last time they played. I mean, we saw a couple of crazy roams out of her as well. We also see Snip opting back to that Maestro. The guy is a pretty solid support player when given the opportunity, and those Evil Eyes offer that opportunity. The vision gathering, the potential to set up 4 frags for his teammates is going to be there as well, and they are setting themselves up.
I just saw all 5 drones enter through the exact same spot of bottom white stairs. And that's just... if those drones got taken out by a person going down to bottom white, not only would that be critical information, because don't forget, ever since the recent update, not the recent one as of yesterday, but the seasonal update, where your drone spawns is where you spawn. You dictate where your drone spawns. So the defenders actually have another piece of information depending on where your drone spawns. And they catch that out, they can sort of get a feel of where the push is going to come from. So pretty glad that those drones didn't get spotted out, because that would have been quite suspicious. But despite this, the defenders looking to have quite a default setup in which they use a lot of manpower and utility upstairs to ensure that no sledge or buck, in which the defenders actually have none. All they have for soft breach is jokes with the breaching charges. The Zofia, oh, what a quick peek from, they're planting?
All right. So that was a pretty aggressive push. The diffuser is going down. Jocks will find one onto Aria. Dan trading out onto Expired. So 3v2 in favor of the attackers right now. Rice goes down. Jock friendly fired out by Skillsy. Lime finds a third in this round as it is all up to Dan. He jumps over that balcony. Will be dropped straight away. A bit of lag accelerating that round quite quickly towards the end there, Mop.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I was talking about those drones. I was talking about how they were stacked up. And goddamn, when you see 5 drones stacked up, you know a rush is incoming. And that is just, I'm just trying to wrap my head around their decision making constantly. Cali, why would you opt in Cali for an absolute rush? And don't get me wrong, it worked, and good on them for working. But that is so risky. And I was about to critique them for not bringing enough soft destruction on such a critical site in which it's needed. But they obviously don't need soft destruction if they're just gonna absolutely rush the hell out of this. And that was just amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they get themselves their first round of this game, taking it round 3. But heading into round 4, we're going to be heading back up to the top site, 3rd floor bar and cocktail lounge. We see Dan on the dock once again. I mean, last time he got punished quite heavily by Jokes on that Carly with the hot breach play. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, if you were Dan right now, surely you'd be experiencing a little bit of PTSD.
Oh, you'd be wigging the hell out. Honestly, man, I am waiting. If this hot breach continues, I am waiting for that frost. Because that is just absolutely unbelievable. And now that we've really try and look at these castles. So first they're castling off the red stairs, and that's obviously for the drop down to try and zone out those attackers. And I believe he was castling west window onto close bar on piano. And that's obviously really gonna foreshadow it or tell that they're gonna have a lot of defenders prioritizing piano. And despite, and I believe in the first round, the attackers read that. They saw how much utility they were dumping into piano, and they thought, hey, let's just rush the other side. Let's just hot breach on that new window and just see what happens. And it almost worked out for them. So let's see what type of adaptation the attackers are going to have to pull to just clear these defenders out.
And it will be the roof hatches opened up by Carly Jokes there with that big sniper rifle. I mean, I don't know quite how well that translates into real life and whether or not it is possible with a sniper rifle in reality, but it makes for some good gameplay to watch.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's one of those buckshot sniper rifles that you hear about, but definitely playing that drone game, as a couple of them will be killed out there by Dan on the dock. With the ACOG, the air jab going in deep, they know exactly where it is. They are just holding off, and it will be that aggressive push in from Jokes. Aria finds one, Rice finds another. Dan is going to be dropped by Lime Cordial, though. Rice finds himself a second on his skills, and it's that same hot style of play that we saw in the last round, but it is not working. It has been cut down quite quickly, as it is 2 attackers left. They will find themselves another frag. Jokes being dropped there, so the Carly not quite as effective this round. 4v1 currently. Lime Cordial got a lot of room to make up, holding this angle in on that bar site. He's not in the most comfortable of positions here, Moff.
That is not a spot you want to be in. And how I'm viewing this game so far is that the attacking team, Cartel, after getting absolutely, I guess, slapped in Clubhouse because they were playing so much utility, and they relied on their utility, they relied on their clears, they relied on their breaches, and despite that, it wasn't enough to beat them. So now they're adapting, being like, okay guys, let's just play aggressive, let's not worry too much about utility, let's carry our frags out and just absolutely click on heads. However, I don't think that's warranted because of the bans. See, now I understand if it's a Thatcher Maverick ban, because that's just the same case as last game, right? Okay, sure, let's play for frags, utility's kind of dead here, but the adaptation is wrong for the bans that are set in this map is what I'm kind of getting at here. So I'm kind of hoping that Cartel looks back on their attacks here and they're thinking, okay guys, the fast play, although it did get us that round and it almost got us the first round, let's try and cool it back and play utility. Let's open up some walls, let's play some long angles, let's get some information, and just play this game like we played at Clubhouse. Because I really think that if they played how they were playing Clubhouse, despite losing, would have a better result than the adaptation they've come up with.
Yeah, I mean, it's that cheese-style strat which is definitely coming out of Cartel right now. There's aggressive pushes with operators that you wouldn't necessarily expect going for those quick scopes with the Kali. They've got the Nomad though, so they're looking to do what they can to deny some of that roam with the air jabs. But I mean, 3-1 in round 5. They had some momentum off of that quick rush into reading room and getting that diffuser down, but surely that stalled after that last round. They just got mopped up one by one. They only got one frag in the end, and it must be demoralizing.
And this is the exact same setup from the attacking team as last time they attacked Kitchen. However, the positioning, as we see multiple attackers lined up outside Bakery. Now, this could suggest possibly a Bakery play, which does use utility, opens walls, and exactly like I was saying, I think this is going to work out a lot better for them.
Yeah, I mean, just playing that front-to-back style is going to be a little bit... Just getting that quick kill out on the magnet there. It's just those one caps. He's looking for it. It will be those ADSs picking up the impact, so they're trying to set up in under this front kitchen area. They have denied what they can as that ADS will be dropped, so the shield is now gone. They have a bit of an avenue to gain some ground. They have realized that that hatch is a little bit opened up there, so that vertical play coming out. Lime takes a bit of damage off the backside of it. Those castle windows coming up big, denying these lines of sight, making it so hard for this Cartel side to find anything right now.
And it's really showing the defenders, their presence upstairs only actually consists of a Jaeger, and that presence upstairs is critical in order to shut down a Bakery attack. The Bakery side is normally opted in because if the defenders are not really persisting upstairs, and they're really not. Jaeger's looking to go for a flank down here on red stairs, hoping to try and get a few picks, but there is somebody sitting bust window, and that will definitely stop him if he tries to over-aggress.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this rotate coming out of Crusaders before. They made the long play, setting up for that rotate out of the attackers. In fact, it is going to be Rice this time, holding that tight angle, looking for the heads there. Drones into kitchen, will figure out where that bandit is. So they know where Dan is. They're going to look to set up on the back of it. Arya again holding close into that tight, small room behind the shield. And I mean, again, they're looking for that flank play. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Rice. Oh, the frag goes out. Arya is dropped there, having to tuck herself back into that corner. Quite tight. I mean, it wasn't the situation they wanted, but they do find themselves somewhat of a man advantage. Cartel it is going to be 34 seconds left in this round. Carly with that big shotgun looking for the headshot, not going to be able to find it as it will be the pickup back on Arya. Snip takes a bit of damage, and it's those quick shots coming out of Carly that isn't quite landing here. They are going pro. They've delayed us out quite spectacularly. 20 seconds left in the round. There will be the down on the skills there. Goonbag follows up quickly with the second one onto Lime Cordial. Expired finds Dan. So that is the bandit gone. MP7 of that CZ is being sprayed at. The poison gas grenade has been dropped. So that kill will go over to Goonbag. Frag coming out, and it will be quick frags out of Crusaders to clean things up. Killerbones finds one in the Goonbag, but he is instantly refragged by... And another round going in favor of Crusaders. 4-1 going into rounds.
And that peek onto Arya when she was in closet. You talk about the advantages of an ACOG versus a holo. Arya, obviously, with the Wamai, opting for the holographic. You know, that fight's already disadvantaged when you're versing somebody with an ACOG, but slap down a 12-time sniper scope, and that fight is just so uneven and just so tilted towards the Cali, or jokes, sorry. And that's just... We're just really seeing Cali being used right. However, the attacking team is just stalling out when they need to aggress. And before I was talking about, guys, calm down the aggression, now I'm talking about these guys just need the right type of aggression.
Yeah, I mean, that rush play got them their first round in this map, so surely that level of play will get themselves another one, as we are going to be heading back to Reading Room Fireplace once again. I mean, I'm not sure if this is the right way Carly should be played, but it is a way that seems to be working here for Jokes, as he has picked himself up a couple clean frags going into Kafe Dostoyevsky. And I mean, getting into this round, are we going to see that same rush play coming out of Cartel again? Because surely Crusaders read into that.
Although they're definitely going to have to adapt for it. I believe Maestro is going to dedicate most of his barbed wire. Jaeger's already placing his barbed wire. I wonder where that's for. But just briefly looking at the defenders, it doesn't look like they're bringing anything for a hard counter, like such as maybe a Goyo, maybe a Smoke could help. Even if you really felt the ambition, maybe even a Cap Can. Though Cap Can's kind of trash, anything could have helped. So maybe it's not the operators they're going to do to counter this maybe possible incoming rush, but possibly their new positioning. And now it's going to be up to Cartel if they opt in not to do a rush, and I don't think they are, to try and prey on these new positionings in which they've instilled because of their first rush to just absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, and we are getting into the action phase. I mean, this is the point that we saw Cartel enter the building the last time that we saw Fireplace and Reading Room played. So it is going to be a little bit slower out of them coming into this round. I mean, at this point in the round, the diffuser was going down, so it is a severely delayed round for them going into this one. As it will be that opening up into by White Stairs, looking to establish any sort of aggression they can, but I mean, nothing really gathered on the back of that. They're just going to be rappelling up the side of the building, getting themselves up that vertical play, getting up to the third floor, looking for these defenders and playing that top-down game style, which we have seen out of a lot of teams.
So they're definitely opting for, dare I say, a more proper, more structured take, in which they're going to try and get the top red stairs clear. They're going to bleed into Cigar and try and clear top down, really utilizing their sledge and possibly Jokes' breaching charges in order to really pressure out these defenders sitting downstairs. But it's all going to be up to Rice and whoever is, and Snip to hold upstairs as long as they possibly can for when they inevitably have. But that's a key decision I'm looking forward for Rice to make. Does he hold it to his death, or is he going to try and escape with his life? And only time will tell for that question.
I mean, the surprising thing to me is we see Snip here holding on White Stairs with the Maestro, as the spray is just going to come through that window. I mean, traditionally you see the Maestro anchoring on a site, holding in some tight little nook and cranny where they're not necessarily going to be seen straight away, holding those evil eyes and watching those cameras. Oh my lord, they didn't realize that Dan was there. The spray coming out will find him as Rice instantly refrags. I mean, what a position to be holding as that big gun will find that kill. Jokes finds a kill on Rice, the lead fragger for this Crusaders esports side. And I mean, that was such an interesting sight. It was Dan and the Skillsy on opposite sides of the bar there. Snip will find the kill on the Joke. So that is that sniper rifle now gone down on the floor for this Cartel side. 3v3. Both teams have very, very healthy teammates. So Skillsy will find a kill onto Goonbag. That is the mute gone now. It's all up to Aria and Snip to find frags here where possible. Aria 6-1-3 is quite capable of doing that. We've seen it time and time again on the Mozzie. And it is in her hands. They hear the footsteps coming up the stairs, spray going out, flash going deep as well. They have broken that barbed wire going into Reading Room as well. So Lime Cordial will be placing down the fuser. Will be Skillsy finding that kill on Aria. So double kill there for him. Snip has a lot of work to do. Nah, he's just going to be fragged out instantly. Skillsy getting the triple. So what a round out of Cartel as they find themselves another playing into this Reading Room bomb site.
Can you just imagine being Rice, you're Jaeger. You've done a really good job at delaying upstairs, and you're thinking, okay, that's enough time, I'm going to rotate down. And you die to a Cali on a rappel, in which, by the way, I've never seen that rappel work out, actually ever. It is such a scary rappel by how many run-out opportunities the defenders have, and just the persistence you need to hold it, and to get rewarded by the rotating Rice is just absolutely joy to see. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think the previous attackers, Cartel, I think their decision-making or, what they're going to opt in for the attacking side is, boys, let's just get this done as quickly as possible. Because screw attacking on this goddamn map. And now it's 2-4, which, I mean, do you think that's bad? I don't think that's that critical. 2-4 is quite healthy. It's better than the 1-5 we saw them on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we were both talking about earlier on this map. If they find themselves in a 4-2 half, even in favour of Crusaders, they definitely have avenues back into this game. Now that we are heading into the second half and they find themselves on defense, we're heading down to Kitchen for the first round. I mean, this is sort of the testing the waters here for Cartel Esports. They want to figure out what is going to be coming out in terms of this Crusaders defense and what they are capable of in the second half. that it will be a slightly different setup here down in this bottom floor. They haven't got the same setup with the castles onto that door side on the side of Bakery. They're playing it different. It's sort of a different hold. It's that vertical hold again, I think, coming out.
And now, with them picking Kitchen first, and obviously Kitchen definitely isn't... It's a strong side, but it's not as strong as Cocktail. Do you believe that Cartel are opting to do this just like they picked Jim as their first defense side in Clubhouse, where they're trying to throw off the attackers a little bit? Or do you reckon they're just more favored in sitting on a side that doesn't have, or that allows for much more vertical play?
I mean, it could be either of those options at this stage. It's really hard to read into what Cartel is trying to do at the moment. They are mixing things up for sure, as it will be that early push by Dan into the second floor. Rice is there as well, so they are going to look for that top-down sweep setup, which a lot of teams do opt in for. Looking down long hallway, Dan trying to find the head of any defenders if possible. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him droning it out. Yeah, it's exactly what's going to be happening. Setting up those drones, looking straight down to that main lobby area. And I mean, they've established that top control. They're going to look to clear out the first floor as well and figure out the verticality of things, whether they can play around that. And from there, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see that heavy aggro in the final minute pushing into sight.
Now, despite them taking from 3F down, which is incredibly time-consuming, they have entered Train Museum with a minute 40 to spare. And that is really good time. And this is mainly enabled by defenders not putting absolutely anything upstairs and just having a 5-man anchor down below. Now, we're really going to have to see if the defenders can just hold this out, or if they're going to get absolutely crippled by this intense vertical play coming out by Crusaders.
I mean, it's exactly how we've seen Cartel play up until this point. They don't really deviate too much from what they do. They're not going to look for that vertical play because they know they are going to struggle to find some of these gunfights against the likes of Rice and Dan, who have been pretty instrumental in those opening round frags. This Lime Cordial has taken a decent chunk of damage. Goonbag is actually going to open things up on the sledge there. So that is the Jaeger gone now. They also get the down C4 from below. Will take out Dan. Skillsy getting himself that frag. Goon will finish off Jokes, who was down there. He's pushing in aggressively into Kitchen. They don't have the castle window there set up, so no backup from there. Snips finds the kill onto Expired. So that is going to be Doc gone. Bray coming through. Goonbag now pulls out the SMG-11. Is going to be fragged out. He did get the down, though, onto the Valkyrie. So they're going to look to clean that up. Skillsy with the MP7. Sorry, not Valkyrie. The screen is just a little bit laggy now, so we are making do what we can, but they will find that first round in the second half. Crusaders extending that lead 5-2 going into round 8.
Gosh, and despite Sledge's, I would say, ill-advised re-peak, equipping the SMG-11 for such a delicate kill, despite him getting traded off, the attacking team still just flooded on into side, and their execute was just incredibly strong and just so well organized. And I think what we're versing is we're seeing a really well-organized team, just a damn well-oiled fighting machine, versus a team that's a bit more sporadic, I guess is the best word. Like, how would you describe Cartel?
I mean, it's not necessarily inconsistent. I suppose maybe just a lack of experience coming into this matchup, and it's definitely showing they're not quite sure how to play around this play style of Crusaders, who are rather aggressive when they choose to be, and it can set some teams on the back foot. And I mean, as much as you say the SMG-11 is a pretty rough gun, I mean, comparatively to its size, it's probably one of the most impactful guns in the game. Time and time again, we see people just picking up frags with this little Uzi, and I mean, it makes for a pretty demoralizing situation considering how small it is. But we are going to be heading back up to that top floor again. Again, we find ourselves potentially in the penultimate round, second to last, if Crusaders can clean this one out 7-2. But I mean, we saw Cartel bring it back just a wee bit as they are getting themselves set up upstairs.
And I just think, yet again, it's their sort of like a gamble in which they pick more of a... And by no means is Kitchen a bad side. Kitchen is incredible, but Cocktail, percentage-wise, is just a bit better. And yet again, they're picking for the favored site first, and again, they lose it out. So, as history tells, they should be able to win this Cocktail round, but they have to deal with the other two non-meta sides. And Jokes trying to go for an incredibly aggressive first pick. Man, like I'm just seeing this again and again. Okay, they're getting pretty slapped here. They are just gonna do everything they can for this opening pick. And Joke's first little spawn peek, and now he's ripping a nitro cell. And we all know the pain of dying to this nitro cell. It is absolutely the worst. And we're gonna have to see if Jokers can actually get quite a lucky pick here.
Oh, he's throwing it out. It's not gonna quite land, as unfortunately, despite having it prepped in, it doesn't land even remotely in the vicinity of any attackers. And yeah, they are definitely making Crusaders work tooth and nail to find any form of closure in the second map of the series. And it is Jokes looking to clear out some of those balconies. So looking for angles will actually drop down, in fact, to the second floor. In fact, going all the way down.
Wow. But she doesn't have a nitro cell, so I wonder what type of Jokes is looking to get here. Possibly a red flank, but we're gonna have to wait and see what Jokes is doing. And here, right here, see how they're running train? This is not something that Cartel did before in order to kill that Valkyrie with the nitro cell that we were talking about. And we can just see this level of readiness from Crusader here. Oh, and who was that? I believe that was the Legion rotating off.
Legion picks up the kill on a snip, so Killerbone's getting the opening frag at this round. That will be the thermite down, so it's going to be just that much harder to get into these bomb sites. Aria and Goonbag have copped a bit of damage as well. It sees the head. It will be Goonbag refragging onto Killerbones. The Legion is now gone. They have rotation holes set up as Rice will find another. So that is expired down as well. So Kate now gone looking for more of these tight angles. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find it. The SMG-11 coming up big again.
Okay, I'm wrong. My lord, I mean, I just think that's just...
Going back again with the SMG-11, finds himself a double, as that is Jokes down to the Valkyrie, now gone, running up those stairs. We'll find a third onto Lime Cordial. This SMG-11 putting in the most work in this round so far from both teams as it is. It's all up to skills again with that SMG-11 in hand. And it will be this. He finds two. Can't decide who to spray onto. Gets a bit of damage further onto Aria. Sitting in tight, and they will clean him up. The Zofia. Dan closing that round out. Round 8 going in favor of Crusaders, and we find ourselves potentially in the final round. New scoreline in favor of Crusaders going.
Are we seeing another 7-2?
I mean, potentially. I mean, we've seen crazier things in Rainbow Six here, but going into match point, I can't believe you dogged the SMG-11 like that. Look.
Oh, come on. Look at that long angle, all right? If you're not hitting the head first shot, you're dead as hell. There's actually no way. But right there, the SMG-11 player had the pick onto the Ash, who was one bullet. So one bullet absolutely anywhere. And if he's just on 40 HP, I'm telling you for free, if you don't hit that headshot, you are so screwed with the SMG-11's just absolute kick, and for such a long angle. Like, man, I'm a believer. Don't get me wrong. I'm a smoke main at heart, but not really. But damn, let's draw it down to he hit a good shot. That is well done from the SMG-11 player. And if we consistently see more things like that, hopefully they can draw it back. But it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, Goonbag with a sick triple with the SMG-11 rotating in on the back was able to find Jokes and Lime Cordial as well. And we're heading back upstairs, Mop, potentially for the final round that we'll see Cartel playing tonight as Crusaders set themselves up pretty well, potentially for 2 7-2s tonight.
We're looking at the roof here. We can see some nice little Christmas trees, and honestly, those Christmas trees are... I don't know, man. They're pretty nice. I wonder why they're up.
Purely aesthetic, let's be honest.
Let's go with that. It's the aesthetic Christmas trees on the top of the roof, and you know what? That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And we are going to see quite a similar hole, except for something's critical here. Killerbones and Jokes have switched roles. Jokes possibly was coming, guys, I need the Jaeger. Trust me, give me the Jaeger. Let's see how that goes, and let's see if Killerbones carries on the dynasty of absolute aggression on the Valkyrie, or if he's gonna play for a more relaxed, possible counter plan sort of play. But only time will tell for Killerbones, and I think Jokes is the one to watch this round. See how he uses Jaeger. Is he gonna go for the full roam, or is he gonna try and play a bit more tight, a bit more controlled? we'll definitely see.
Yeah, we did see an early spray coming out there from that southern side. Snip copping a bit of damage, so that Thermite just a little bit less healthy than his teammates going into the start of this round. First minute already coming to a close, as it is just going to be Crusaders droning out looking for information. Whereas you see Cartel holding aggressively on some of these angles of egress into this top floor. They've found the bomb. The hatches are open. They have the potential to push in aggressively if they need to. Drone going down to the red stairs, looking for something. Trying to figure out if there is any presence down on the second floor. They see the defender there at the second stairs, the middle part there. The spray going out, not able quite to find anything as he finds Jokes. Will be dropped him. The air jab is going to be put down, denying that rotation up through the reds. And I mean, it's currently a 1. So things have been evened up. The Sledge, though, is the one to go down as opposed to the Jaeger of Jokes. So it is that soft breach now gone for the attackers currently. And little do they know, Lime Cordial is downstairs pushing up onto White. They might be able to find something on the backside, but it is going to be expired. Holding up on Cafe, on Cocktail, on Cafe. But the first frag, second frag, sorry, comes out onto expired as Rice will clean that one up. 4v3 currently. Aria taken pretty low here. Will just be denying out those barbed wires with the impact of the lifeline. So they're looking to set themselves up for a defuse position. Snip is going to be the one there, that dedicated bomb carrier. They're setting it up. The spray's coming out. He is going to be down. That spray coming in from the defenders as the diffusers picked up one. Cordial finally solidifies that kill as Rice going to be planting in behind Cocktail Bar there. They are looking for that vertical play. There's C4 coming out onto absolutely no one. Just find a kill on the Dan with that work in his hands this time. The rotate coming out. The air jab will knock him back down. 34 seconds as Rice and Aria sitting pretty low on this IQ. Lime Cordial going for the long rotate in from behind. I don't think they're going to be able to find much, as it will be Rice finding that kill on his skills. That is the Doc on. Finds himself another one of the Lime Cordial triple for him right now. Looking to close this map out as quickly as possible. 15 seconds left on the diffuser. More explosives coming out here. The spray will be enough to take him down in the end. Killerbone's finding that kill. It is all up to Aria to lay things out. The diffuser is not going to be enough, as Aria will finish that kill and the game for them. A 2-0 series for Crusaders in our first series of the night, Mob.
Wow. I saw the Zofia of Rice make that, destroy that barbed wire with her impacts, opening up the floor down below. And in that moment, I thought, that's the mistake that's going to cost the round. But Rice, pretty much killing his teammate, grabbed the bomb and just went straight onto the plan, which is just absolutely fantastic.
Look, I mean, there is no KDA. There is only the glory of Crusaders Esports winning out the Series 2-0. 7-2 both times. In fact, as you see, Rice, the MVP, coming up pretty big with 12 frags at the end of Kafe Dostoyevsky. It was an interesting series for sure. Cartel definitely showing a much better performance than we saw out of them in their last one. Definitely looking like if they do make it further into this tournament, if they can contest that top 2 position, playoffs could get interesting.
Just wow. I just saw what definitely wasn't nearly as close as the clubhouse, but I think that was more on part of Cartel just opting to play a game in which we haven't absolute and I almost go as far as saying blind aggression, and it just didn't really work out for them there. Crusaders, a more well organized team, well stratted team, definitely took it out there.
Yeah, most definitely, but it is not our only series. We have more action coming up for you in just a moment. I mean, after that one, the next series is going to bring, surely, we are going to be seeing Seventh Heaven versus Rise. Seventh Heaven won their last series against Cartel just as decisively as we saw Crusaders play. Rise struggled into Crusaders, although in saying that, in the Open Qualifiers Rainbow Six Masters, if I remember correctly, Rise actually took out the win over 7th Heaven. So there is not only a whole bunch of bragging rights going into this, but there's got to be a bit of a grudge for sure on 7th Heaven.
Oh, for sure. They're out for revenge. And this game will be streamed, unlike the R6 Masters one. So maybe the stream could add an element of adrenaline for the players, and maybe the scores will be a quite bit different. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, I mean, don't go anywhere, guys. We have another series coming up, so make sure you grab yourselves another drink, go to the bathroom, get yourselves another snack, and we'll bring you all the action of 7th Heaven versus Rise Esports.